and we have come down to 2 teams. We started with 74 teams in the qualifying. They began in the first half of 2000. They joined the 9 seeded teams. If you add them together, that's 83 nations have taken part. And now we are down to just 2. It's the great trans-Tasman rivals, Australia and New Zealand. And in commentary with me, Gordon Bray and Keith Quinn.
This is going to be a good one on the field of play and in the commentary box too. I'm Keith Quinn from One World of Sport, and this is Gordon Bray from C7 in Australia. It's going to be fun, Gordon. Let's hope it's a good game that matches the excellent spirit that's prevailed here in the last 3 days.
Sensational performance from the captain, Richard Graham, and Robert McDonald, number 5. Tireless workers in the Aussie side.
There's Benjamin Bono, number 2, from Uruguay, who's the stand-in for Eric Rush, New Zealand's injured captain. And that's the New Zealand starting lineup for this great final in prospect.
Yes, well, we've had 3 days of exhaustive competition, and for these 2 teams, it's 8 matches with 10-man squads. A big, tough call, and it's going to be survival of the fittest.
And what a tremendous gesture to have the host nation represented on the field in the form of referee Pablo De Luca. Remember, it's 10 minutes each way for the Rugby World Cup Sevens final 2001. And it's Julian Huxley to begin. New Zealand in the black, Australia in the green and gold. The trans-Tasman rivalry resumes. It's across all kinds of sport, and here it is at 7-a-side for the first time in a World Cup final. Craig Newby of New Zealand has it now just outside New Zealand's 22. 35,000 people packed into the Estadio Mundialista Stadium, and Jonah Lomu touches for the first time. Australia's captain, Richard Graham, has been fended off, 1 to beat, and Lomu, what a beginning. Jonah Lomu puts New Zealand into the lead with a winger's try, and that's something we haven't seen from him in the tournament. He's been up the middle busting, he's been in the forwards, he's been all over the park, but that's the first time he's run in a winger's try.
Keith, he has had his critics in this tournament, but the big man has exploded at the opportune moment. It really was David and Goliath, that last confrontation with little Brendan Williams. But the great Jonah has put New Zealand in the lead, and both of these sides are striving for their first World Cup victory in sevens.
So it's Amasio Valance, who has done very well in the last 2 games New Zealand has played, in the quarterfinal and the semi-final earlier today with his goal kicking. Let's see if he can make it a 7-pointer. He's hit that one across, and it hasn't made it the extra points, but what a try it was by Lomu. This is the big man. He switches the ball and then brings it back to this near side, and then plonks it down after a 50-meter run. New Zealand in the lead by 5-0.
Yes, and it all came from a turnover by Australia down on the New Zealand quarter. So ball retention critical for both sides. It's a good drop out here. So Ialo, Pitha went high, and New Zealand and Tanana. Fleming out now to Valance. UB for New Zealand. So Ialo, and Jonah's in it again. Off he goes. Pitha from behind. So Ialo is wrapped up, and it's been pinched by McDonald. Superb play by the number 5. Australia going quickly. Graham to Williams. The Aussies needing to hit back. This is Huxley. Neat step. What a player. The pass went back. Sam Payne in support. And again, New Zealand off their feet, playing the ball at the tackle. New Zealand leading by 5-0.
Referee stamping his involvement early on in the game with those 2 calls, Gordon. But Australia, they have Sam Payne in the middle of the park, the only one in the picture at the moment, and he is a vital cog in the wheel for Australia's hopes in this game.
So Sam Payne, yes, he's Return to the sevens team for the first time since '94, and Huxley almost through. Little knock on by the Australians. Another turnover. Just pushing the pass there.
Injured player just to the left. The referee has just stopped his watch. Concern for one of the Aussie players down. Alan Davis has gone out. The physio.
Keith, it's interesting. Jonah has been roaming around the field. He's played on quite a few occasions in the forwards, but he's back where he belongs, out wide here in the final, and he really crunched the Aussies. Now he's playing in the front row.
They're using him all over the park, because sometimes he's played on the right side of the front three, and sometimes he switches to the left side. Muliaina now. Back to Amasio Valance. Fleming. A couple of the Aussies slipping late at night here. Coming up to 11:30 in the evening. Mar del Plata, Argentina. Robert McDonald is number 5. Alan McDonald, number 6. Here's Williams, the top try scorer in the tournament. Richard Graham. Space now. Chance for Australia to strike back. Huxley is caught. Loose ball. Williams. Oh, let's look at the referee. He says no try.
Good call.
Big disappointment there for Brendan Williams. He appeared to bounce it in the act of scoring it. Maybe just jolted a little bit. He certainly knows how to score tries. It has been awarded, Gordon. It has been awarded.
Well, there's no way he got the ball down here. He bounced it, but the referee was right there. All you need is downward pressure. Certainly on the slow motion replay, it looked very doubtful. But the bottom line is Australia's in the lead.
Conversion by Huxley. Let's look at this again from another angle. Well, you be the judge. Australia in the lead by 7-5. Another try for Brendan Williams. Halfway through the first half.
So a controversial ruling there by Pablo De Luca. He said downward pressure was enough. And now New Zealand back in possession, looking to hit back here. Tanana with a good offload. This is Fleming out wide. He's been one of the stars of the tournament. So quick. And here's the support from Ialo. Well, not sure about that option. Sam Payne here has support from Graham. And he knocked on. Just had a sneak look at Tanana coming through.
The pressure is really on. I think that Rodney Soialo, the number 3, felt that Carl Tanana inside was covered by the defender, so he stabbed that kick into the corner. It's been a good result for New Zealand. Here's the scrum. It's a strike by Australia. They've cleared it. Oh, that's a bad foul. I think Muliaina seemed to go into the kicker, but the two players exchanged. Well, maybe it was just a charge down, but back at the goal line. What's that call for, Gordon?
Well, I think he spotted the earlier penalty. I thought it should have been a penalty for a dangerous tackle. There was no use of the arms in the tackle. It was just a body charge. But Australia had the line-out throw just outside their 22 in the lead by 7-5.
So there's Julian Huxley, and to throw now number 5 is Robert McDonald. Big crowd has stayed to watch this late in the night. Newby, Muliaina, Tanana. Lomu has stayed out of this to the left and is waiting, lurking for the left if it comes that way. 22 metres out. Mulianet with it now. Brad Fleming. Su'uyalo. Amasio. The defenders are looking for Jonah. Jonah takes on the defence and gets through again. He could be the difference between these two excellent teams. He's in for his second. We'll wait and see. But I got the feeling there that the defence was looking for Lomu, and Amasio pushed up more yards than he should have. In the end, the pass went to Lomu and the try was down.
Yes, New Zealand always had the space here on the left, and the Aussies not drifting there. McDonald came in, 2 men taken out in the tackle, and it was a gigantic task for little Sam Payne. Great try, New Zealand.
Carl Tanana is going to be the goal kicker for New Zealand. 10 points to 7. He hasn't been the #1 choice, but he's kicked very well.
Well, it snuck inside, Keith.
Wasn't a great kick, but it's good enough for 2 points for New Zealand. So it's a 7-pointer as we see Lomu switching the ball to the outside arm. He's got through Sam Payne. And with the conversion, it's now New Zealand 12 and Australia 7.
So New Zealand going shallow with their kicks. And Newby again doing well from the restarts. And Fleming is going to loop out wide here. Tanana and pinched by Pither. Richard Graham, the Australian captain for Williams, 10 from halfway. Williams is going to back himself here. He's quick. 13 tries in the tournament. Did he get it? Well, Williams seemed to trip over. I think we're back to the 22. A valiant effort there by Alan McDonald.
Pablo De Luca made the signal to play on when it was kicked away from Brendan Williams. So all the players on the field pretty well knew to carry on for the dive in goal. But now the whistle's gone for half-time. And 2 tries to Lomu, 1 to Williams. The big try scorers are the difference now in a great game so far. Let's look at that again. Down went Williams, and then there was the dive close to the dead ball line. New Zealand ahead, 2 tries to 1.
Yes, well, Keith, the try was awarded to Williams, so that gives him 14 in the tournament. But let's hear Gordon Titchens here.
Just come on.
Well, Keith Quinn, it's been a long time between drinks for New Zealand. They haven't won a Rugby World Cup in 7s or 15s. You can correct me here, I think since 1987.
Oh, absolutely correct, Gordon. We don't like to be reminded of it, but here is one hanging in the balance. But it's a New Zealand-Australia clash too.
Let's go.
Kiwi flag there and New Zealand flag waving. But as we've found out right across a whole range of sports, things can change dramatically in the last moments between these two great rivals, trans-Tasman rivals, we call them.
And the joint was jumping. Mar del Plata, the holiday capital of Argentina. Just 10 minutes to go then to decide the world champion at 7-a-side.
So Amarcio Valance kicks off. 10 minutes to play, and then the Melrose Cup will be decided. The Australians have the 15-a-side World Cup. Here is their chance to add another one to the big range of trophies they've got in the trophy cabinet back at the Australian Rugby Union headquarters. New Zealand haven't got too many these days, and theirs. Not back 10 metres, says referee DeLuca.
Bit of back chat there.
So now it's a straight line. Lomu up the middle. 3 for Big Jonah. Set move. Cut back inside. And Jonah's in for 3.
Well, haven't they used him superbly? This was a Lomu explosion. The Australians saw something was going to develop, but they didn't expect that sort of express train. And the defence was absolutely devastated for Jonah's third.
Back with Amasio for the shot at goal, and it's over. So New Zealand now, as we look at the power of Lomu, and this is a wonderful sight to see from New Zealand's point of view, and for all these thousands that have come in to watch this final. But perhaps Australia now very nervous about that scoreline. 19 points to 7 early in the second half of the Rugby World Cup Sevens final.
Yes, it's a 12-point margin, so Australia needing a converted try here. And the ball just lost ahead by Australia, so nothing going right for the men in goal at the moment. But good pressure from New Zealand with their shallow restart. Well, Jonah has made it a one-act affair so far. Storming performance by the big man. A hat-trick of tries to really bury the Australians in this final. Can they recover? 19-7, the deficit for the men in gold on right. New Zealand forcing the turnover, and too many turnovers from Australia. So now Amasio. UB not able to get that one out, but another penalty for New Zealand here. Amasio goes himself. So Ialo. And where's Jonah? He's out on the left wing at the moment. So it's too easy. Amasio threw the biggest dummy you'll ever see, and there was no one at home. Even at this stage, New Zealand look as though they have a couple of hands on Melly, the Melrose Cup.
Well, that was perhaps another case of the Aussies fanning out, looking for the big runners out wide, the speedsters, and forgetting about the little man and his darting runs in close, because suddenly there appeared a way through for Amasio. He took it. He's played superbly today. Chipped over another conversion, 26-7. And we've got to pay tribute here to the tactical planning here of Gordon Titchens, because I think he's kept everyone guessing the way he's used Amasio sparingly in the first couple of days and Lomu sparingly in the first couple of days. And here they are playing a critical role in the final. And now New Zealand leading by 26-7.
Yeah, this has been a sublime performance by this New Zealand 7. Australia guilty of coughing up possession. Huxley has tried very hard. McDonald in support. Still in Australia's half. Pither now trying to smash his way through. He's taken 3 New Zealanders with him, and he still has the strength to get it to ground. Here's Brendan Williams, leading try scorer in the tournament. And a crossover there by one of the support runners, and that really sums up Australia's horror afternoon here in the final after performing so well up to this stage.
Yes, he ducked in behind McDonald. Referees have been tough on that here, Gordon, haven't they?
Yeah, and rightly so too. The defending players were obstructed. Referee left with no alternative. But there's no disgrace in finishing number 2 to this great New Zealand side, spearheaded by Jonah Lomu with his 3-try blitzkrieg in Argentina. So New Zealand now through Newby in the middle, wasn't straight, and Australia to have a scrum feed.
And Marcio saying it couldn't have been crooked by much. Lomu comes in to join the scrum. Australia have the put in. It's a scramble.
Well, it's a big ask too for Robert McDonald here at loose head against Jonah. Sam Payne, grab from behind there, that's a penalty. And so we have just over a minute remaining in the final. There'll be also some injury time. Can Australia get a belated try? They're trailing by 26-7. Let's see what they can do here.
And Australia they want to sub their captain off.
Yes, Ed Carter's coming on for McDonald. No. Graham's still out there.
Originally the number 4 went up, which indicated it was going to be Richard Graham.
So Huxley. This is Graham now. Huxley on the loop. Alan McDonald. New Zealand have stood their ground in defence. And again, another mistake. This New Zealand defence has just been too good in the final.
So the crowd now applauding as the clock ticks down towards the finish of this one. Another substitution being made. This time coming on for Australia is Tim Donnelly. Two conversions and a try for Marcio, who's really dominated in the last couple of games today, controlling the game at the pace he wants it to be played. Here it comes again, Muliaina. Will there be one more flourish? Muliaina sets over the corner, and there is one. 5 tries. Malili Muliaina has scored the 5th. And New Zealand are running away from Australia in the Sevens Rugby World Cup final. (31 points to 7). It is a massive margin in the end when you think about it. The Aussies have looked the best of good things on their way through to the final. It was Australia who knocked Fiji out of the tournament. But maybe they took too much out of themselves in doing that. And now Muliaina is in for his moment. That one slides away, but it won't really matter. 31-7. We look at it again, transferring the ball to his outer arm in case anyone comes at him. Muliaina in for the try. Now a short kickoff along the turf. Huxley with it now. Carter, who's come on as a substitute. Ed Carter, halfway line. Huxley uncertain what to do. Down he goes, Jared Goins, come on for New Zealand. Penalty for New Zealand. Can they flash the form one more time in this World Cup final? An intercept by Huxley. He's got good speed, but he's caught by Newby. Pither is caught as well by Newby and Lomu. Donnelly. Sam Payne, Carter. Williams is there. Pither. It's going to be a try for Australia, but it's going to be a World Cup Sevens win for New Zealand. The siren is gone for the end of the second half. It's 31-12 at the moment, thanks to the try by Tim Donnelly. the conversion to come for Australia, but the celebrations to start for New Zealand's sevens team. And when the whistle goes for the end of the game, the cup will be New Zealand's. Final score 31-12. New Zealand are the Rugby World Cup Sevens champions in the new millennium. And thoughts will go out to their captain, Eric Rush, for whom they played this last day after he was so cruelly injured in a freak accident against England 24 hours ago. Good spirit exists between these two fine sides, these two great rivals. There's the final score, there's the New Zealand captain on the field, and there's the man who made the difference, as he's done so often in the 15-a-side game and in the sevens now as well, where he began his rugby rise. Jonah Lomu, 3 tries in the final, and the dance begins for New Zealand in the stands. Keith Roberts, the fitness trainer there, with Tony Ward, the manager, Kevin McCoy, the trainer. And here is the man himself, Gordon Titchens, who has won the World Sevens Cup at last. New Zealand's coach since 1994. And Lomu is in some kind of trouble here with emotion.
One set, just one set. Just one set, boys.
And this is a moment of some kind of privacy.
Lord, we're just so happy, we want to be humble. Father, we give you thanks for the goodness you've given to us. Father, we just thank you for Rusty and what it means to us, Lord Jesus. Thank you for our family, Lord. Thank you for the way in which we are a team. Father, we thank you for the way you've blessed us throughout this tournament. Lord, we ask you to continue blessing on us as we travel from you, Lord. We give you all the thanks and the praise and glory in Jesus' precious name. Amen. Stay together.
What a fantastic moment that was to look in on a prayer of thanks, and thanks for the blessings given to his team. You heard the word Rushy mentioned there, the nickname for Eric Rush, who has been such a big part of New Zealand Sevens since 1986, but denied a place on the field in this final, but he's in the hearts of the winners, as you've heard. Okay, that's a celebration for New Zealand for the moment. Let's go down underneath now for the Australian point of view.
Well, with me is Richard Graham, the Australian captain. Superb performance to make the final. I've only got one word to say: Lomu.
Yeah, that's all I could. Yeah, we came up against a fairly hot side there tonight with, you know, a big man, and you know he's made a fool of a number of footballers throughout his time. So yeah, congratulations.
But what about the Australian performance to make this final? You must be very proud of the side to be number 2 in the world.
Yeah, well, I guess we came away with, you know, no big name players, and few people had high expectations on us. We ourselves, you know, we came here with the belief that we could win it. We made the final, but again, you know, on the night, all credit to New Zealand.
Turnovers probably hurt you in that first half?
Yeah, certainly. We spoke about composure, and we knew if we turned the ball over, they'd capitalise. Something we'd spoken about, and I guess a number of boys have now been exposed to this level of football, and that can only augur well for their careers.
And what about the guys themselves? There have been some outstanding players in your team.
Yeah, I'd be very disappointed if Brendan Williams wasn't named player of the tournament. You know, they had a big man, and we had our little man, and he's been superb throughout the tournament. But, you know, having said that, a lot of boys inside him that did very well also.
A great New Zealand side in that final and throughout the tournament.
Yeah, no, that's right. Yeah, good. So, you know, we'll go back and we'll continue with the World Series, and hopefully, you know, we can win some of those tournaments there.
Aussie captain Richard Graham.
That's good. Thanks, sir.
Gordon Bray with Richard Graham. Now let's go across the stadium. Well, first of all, let's have the All Black celebration haka. Now let's go to John Macbeth with Gordon Titchens.
Well, Gordon, this is an emotional time for you and the team, isn't it? You look emotional.
Yeah, pretty emotional. Really pleasing to win a World Cup. Unbelievable, really. And to do it for Eric Rush, for Rushy, it was pretty emotional at the hotel today when he had to fly back, and all the team were in tears, and it was great to do it for him. Really mean that, and just unbelievable feeling.
I know when we talked before the tournament, you admitted there was an enormous amount of pressure, or they felt as though there was a big load on you and the team's shoulders to win this. It didn't seem to be evident. Was there that pressure there, did you feel?
There was pressure there, but we attacked it just like any other tournament, and I think in the back of our minds we sort of knew there was a World Cup at stake, and there's certainly lots of pressure, but we attacked one game at a time, and that was really important to us, and didn't look further ahead, and we struggled in a couple of games, but we certainly put it right on track on finals day today.
People will say this was Jonah's final because he crossed the line so many times. Tell us about your use of Jonah during the tournament.
Well, we used him just at times, just off the bench, and not too much. Obviously didn't want to show our cards, but he had a magnificent final. I mean, he played it for his best mate, Rushy, which was great, and just real emotional for him, and great to see him pick those tries up. It's certainly great from the coach's perspective.
Okay, I know it's the player's moment, Gordon, but well done as a coach. We're going to chat now with Jonah, who's alongside us. Thank you, Gordon.
Thanks, Don. Thank you.
Jonah, Gordon just talked about the way he'd used you, and the final, it looks like your final, and I know that you won't be prepared to accept that you were the star of the final, but you played exceptionally well. You must be so impressed with the way you and the team have gone.
I'm really impressed with the way the team went. If it wasn't for the other guys, man, and if it wasn't for Rushy, and all his knowledge and everything that he's given to all of us, we wouldn't have got through this final. The credit's got to go to him. He's done so much for a lot of us, and I know that I've got a lot to be thankful for what he's done for me, and and basically the whole of New Zealand who got right behind us. Thanks for all their faxes, and we just went out there, gave it all our heart and soul. Our call was, before we ran out, was, when we go out on that field, man, give it our heart and soul for the whole of New Zealand, and do it for our leader that's heading back home.
You did everyone. Did Rushy will be feeling very proud of you, Eric Rush, way back home with a broken leg. There's this New Zealand-Australia thing that a lot of people will know about. It was sitting on your shoulders, I suppose. It was one of those finals that you wanted to win, and you won it convincingly. So well done, congratulations, and hopefully we'll see you in Wellington for the World Series, which carries on in a couple of weeks.
I hope so too. But thank you very much, and thanks to the whole of New Zealand.
Yep. Thank you, Jonah. Well done.
Well, there he is. Fantastic man, and 3 tries in the final was the difference really between New Zealand and Australia, but a great effort. 31 points to 12. New Zealand, the final winners of the 2001 Rugby World Cup Sevens, their first victory in the World Cup for 7-a-side rugby. Now the New Zealand team going up, led up by Jonah Lomu. 3 tries in the final. Sinograd in there. Mills Muliana. Jared going. Holding their World Cup medals. Roger Randall. Craig Newby. Great to see if we got a shot of Sebastian Bono from Uruguay, who's standing there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from the right. Sebastian Bono from Uruguay, who's just been presented with a gold medal for being part of the New Zealand team effort here on the final day. What a tremendous thrill for him. The 25-year-old Uruguay under-25 international, who's not yet been capped in their full top 15. But what an encouragement this will be for him as the New Zealand team lines up. Marcia Valance and Rodney Soialo. Brad Fleming getting a great reception. And there is the Melrose Trophy from Vernon Pugh, chairman of the International Rugby Board. Presented to the New Zealand captain on the field, and with his coach they share it together. Gordon Titchens, Carlton Nama and the New Zealand team. Manager Tony Ward